Hey everyone, this is the last in our series of discussions, and I picked liberal Christian theology and how that's affected the modern day church. First of all, a little background, what is liberal Christian theology? Well, first of all, it's not Christian. During the Enlightenment period, scholars that call themselves neologians tried to elevate human reasoning to the point of divine status. They attacked the supernatural of the historic Christian church. This included the Trinity, deity of Christ, atonement, virgin birth, anything that was supernatural in our text, they tried to deny. Immanuel Kant was probably the last of the Enlightenment philosophers. A guy named Friedrich Schleiermacher, very important man because he's considered the father of modern liberal theology. He believed that religion was seen at its core as subjective. I believe that man could make up his own religion, his own moral code. He would determine his own sense of spirituality. G.F.W. Hegel was a contemporary of Schleiermacher's, and he believed that all of reality is the outworking of the spirit and mind. Everything was inside of man. So that all moral absolutes are essentially out the window. Grant Walker, he's a religious, he's at Duke University School of Divinity, and he wrote an article, Religious Liberalism and the Modern Crisis of Faith. He came up with 3 points. One of them was a cause, the other two were philosophy. The cause, in the late 19th century, and I'm going to quote him directly, in the late 19th century, the rapid expansion of trade, of military contacts, of recreational travel, and ironically of Christian missions, fostered a new and disturbing awareness that many non-Christian faiths carried highly developed ethical systems of their own. So he's equating Christianity to every other system. Kind of the argument today, there's many ways to Christ. You don't have to go by the Christian religion. You can go by any of these religions. And this is important because they do believe, many of the modern liberalists believe, that religion is a figment of man, that we invented it, that it's not divinely inspired. The philosophies that he quoted was all natural processes proceeded at random without any hint of a divine direction, and that questioned the authority of the scriptures and the authority of the men who wrote the scriptures, and arguably the elimination of the supernatural from the working vocabulary of Christian biblical scholars. That emerged as the hallmark of basic liberal Christian theology. The problem that caused problems for the Christian faith because everything that we as Christians believe is under the divine direction of Christ, that Christ is divine, he is of God. So when you get rid of the supernatural, you kind of eliminate the authority of Jesus. Jumping forward, William Craig wrote an article on reasonable faith, explores the liberal principles of today's churches. Liberal Christians question right or wrong and moral authority. They believe that moral authority is subjective, that everybody has their own moral beliefs and none are better than the other. He actually equated it to, I like broccoli, you don't like broccoli. You have a right to not like broccoli, I have a right to like broccoli. That it's all subjective. And they use that as their argument for morality too. That your morality is no better or worse than my morality. This allows them to justify homosexuality and abortion. There's a lot of, my sister was at a church and said, it was Episcopalian church actually, and she said they spent an hour and a half screaming and yelling, justifying abortion. And this was like 25 years ago. And they were justifying the woman's right to have abortion, that her rights superseded the rights of the child. And which is ironic because before I get too far, I just heard today that there was a Church of Cannabis out in Denver, Colorado, and their mission, I guess, or their philosophy is our spiritual journey is one of self-discovery, not one of dogma. We believe there is no one-path solution to life's biggest question. This is simply a supportive place for each one of us to find a pathway to our own spirituality, whatever that may be. So, like I was saying, they believe that everybody has a different way to God, but everybody can reach God in their own way. There is hope, though, because 20 years ago, a man named John Shelby Spong wrote a paper called Why Christianity Must Change or Die, explaining that Christianity should change with the culture. But recently, conservative Protestant theology, a study was done on conservative Protestant theology as opposed to liberal, and they found out that as the churches were turning more liberal, their memberships were going down, and the ones that stayed conservative, their memberships were rising. So there is hope that liberal Christian theology has not taken hold and is actually reversing itself. Thanks. God bless you all and have a good day.